We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast. I'm Anna, co-founder here at the Sisters Enchanted, and as always, I'm joined with friend and teammate Sarah Milne. Hello, Sarah.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I think I need to get some more coffee, and I'm realizing that this deck I'm using today is half upside down and half right side up, so now I'm going to be distracted trying to fix it. So while I do that, Sarah, why don't you tell us what we have ahead of us for this week, the week of May 23rd.
Okay, so last week, you remember we talked about the eclipse and shadow work. Before that, the focus has been a lot on Aries. We have Venus still in Aries, Jupiter still in Aries. So this week they're being joined by Aries' very own Mars. So Mars goes into its own sign of Aries. So this is super fire. This is fire on fire. Like Mars is super fiery. It's in its own planet, Aries. So all this kind of like go-getting, like asserting yourself, like the energy of war, but it's not war just for its own sake. It's war because I feel so strongly about that I'm going to defend this, and it can make us feel super frustrated if things aren't going the way we want things to go. So we're going to be really kind of like spontaneous, really bold, really competitive, sometimes a little bit indecisive with all this kind of fire going on. It can get like fire can get really out of control as well. But beware of feeling frustrated. It's that kind of like, when you're trying to get something done that's really important to you, you're just like, and you just like I know with painting sometimes you just get the urge to just like screw it up, rip it up, whatever. But don't, because this is going to make you feel that way. So my hot tips of the week are: be mindful with that fire. Fire is great. Fire gets us going. With being assertive, starting things, like taking that first step in a journey, that first step on the fool's journey, that's important. But be mindful and direct it. Like Aries fire can get really out of control. We talked a few weeks ago about Sagittarius kind of having that very like arrow that points and directs the fire. Try and be mindful. I mean, Aries energy probably won't help us all to be that directed, but try and be mindful where you are directing that fire and use it wisely. Be bold and spontaneous. It's great to be bold and spontaneous, but be careful as well, because Aries can just be like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm setting off on that venture. Oh, I didn't bring anything with me. Oh, no, I've hit some danger. I wasn't planning for this. Oh, well, so take a step back, be mindful, make some plans. And the good thing there is with Mercury kind of like spinning back into Taurus, that's going to help us to bring that little bit of Taurus mindfulness into the situation. And be ready to control your frustrations and anger. Have a plan. Just be aware that during this season, when Mars is in its own Aries, we are going to feel frustrated. We are going to feel angry. Other people around us are also going to feel frustrated, and they are also going to feel angry. So be prepared and have a plan for, okay, if I start to feel frustrations, what am I going to do? A really good to balance fire is water, in terms of like when we talk about energetic balance. So have some kind of crystals. I happen to have one of my little friends here, actually. He's very watery. This fellow, he's got some really kind of cool watery, he looks like it's the ocean. So he'd be a good friend for me. So whenever I feel that frustration or that anger, I could just kind of like calm down with my crystal here. So something like that would be a really good idea.
I like it. So for this week, for tarot polls, we're using the Aquarian Tarot this week. And at first I pulled strength. So here's strength.
Yeah.
Quite different from the strength that we usually see. And the Four of Cups. And with this, I'm feeling like, so with the Four of Cups, we often get, there's kind of a disassociation with the Four of Cups that, things are happening around you, but you've become just so disconnected that you just aren't even looking at what's around you. And I feel like this is something that can happen when you have gone through a bit of burnout, like Sarah's talking about, like when you get so mad, you get so frustrated, you get so worked up that you don't even have like a healthy, like, scream outside, but instead you just like disassociate and forget that there's still opportunities around you. And so I think that going into this week, we kind of have that idea that even if it's really hard to not get burnt out, even if it's really hard to keep your emotions in check, to try to be aware. This strength card definitely, you know, he kind of gives the energy of guarding, you know, being very like aware, being very like astute. He's focused on like what's happening in front of him. That even if you are starting to feel like you're disassociating a little bit and you're feeling like so much is happening that you can't be like in the now, to try to still like focus on, you know, the task at hand, or, you know, what you're trying to do. And that even if you are kind of struggling into this Four of Cups disassociation, this kind of lack of emotional capacity, to just try to stay like focused, and to not let this disassociation make you inactive, because that's a Four of Cups energy. You know, I'm just gonna like sit down and just become inactive, not be aware. And I think that strength this week is kind of demanding in its stance of looking right at the reader, at all of you, that, you know, it's okay sometimes to back out and disassociate if you need to, but that you have to still stay focused. You have to put yourself back in the game a little bit. And that's kind of how I'm feeling about the energy this week, is that it might get so fiery that whatever water that douses you can douse you so much so that it douses you almost too clean. Too clean that you lose sight of the emotion. And fire is one of those emotions that you have to put into like an outlet. You have to, if you're mad, like sometimes you just have to yell, and it's more healthy to like go into a closet and scream than it is to turn it off entirely and to douse yourself of that emotion. And so I think that that's what is a call for this week, that even if you're feeling like you had to close off because it is so much, not to forget what that feeling was, and then to try to work through it in a way that is beneficial. You know, strength demands that we find those parts of ourselves and we harness them, and make something out of them. You know, strength is like, yes, you're angry. It's okay to be angry. Everybody's angry. That's a part of you. And every part of you is a strength. You just have to figure out how to use it, you know, instead of, you know, wash away and just become complacent. So strength is demanding, you know, if you need to take a second, take a second. But that anger is valid, or, you know, or that feeling is valid. And now you have to work through that. You can't just wash it away.
I like it. I really like that. And also like losing that spark, like that Aries spark that makes us start something, makes us want to do something. And sometimes we can lose that, you know, and kind of like you have to just remember, why did I do this in the first place? Feeling that again. Yeah, I love it.
So that is our story for today. We're sticking to it. So I think that's really it. This is just, we've had a lot of like fire this month and a lot of things happening, and just
absolutely so much fire this month. So yeah, and we still got one more coming up for you in this month as well, because this is a long 5-week month. So we've got more to come for this month.
I know. Put on your safety hats. No, just I think awareness, and if you're mad, be mad, but don't Aries energy go take out the whole battlefield because you don't know how to stop. You know, defend yourself in the best way that you can. Like, defend yourself, not like I'm defending myself, but you know, take care of yourself. That's always a good thing to do. Take care of yourself. So yeah. So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast. We hope that the stars treat you well this week. And thank you, Sarah, so much for joining me.
And see you at the next.
See you next time.
Yep. See you next week.
Bye.
If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday and astro forecasts for the week ahead every Friday. If there's any topics you'd want to hear, anything you want us to dive deeper into, shoot us an email at magic@thesistersenchanted.com. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.